y'all. Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. Hey, I thought we could go over, since we did our diagnosing and dismantling society on narcissistic personality disorder, I thought today we could also do this collective convo right here, right now, about some abuse tactics. That way we've covered our bases. Bless you, Lucy. The dogs are in here. It's a little rainy outside. Everyone's taking a nap. Niall's chilling, hopefully. We'll see. But we're gonna look up some tactics of abuse. Some of these are more covert than others, which means they're harder to recognize. But I feel like it's an important thing to do. So I am thinking about this as an interpersonal conversation at this point. However, you can take this and apply it to society as well, okay? So let's talk about manipulation as a whole, and then we're going to break it down into certain tactics. I don't think we've done this. Have we done this? Oh, here comes that. I knew he was going to come in here. So these are more emotional and mental abuse than physical. Obviously, physical abuse is physical abuse, okay? Manipulate means to handle or control, typically in a skillful manner. Okay, so manipulation manipulation. So manipulation is the action of manipulating something in a skillful manner. Something or someone. Alright? My child's manipulating me. Okay. Gaslighting is first. Manipulating someone using psychological methods into questioning their own sanity or powers of reason. Examples of this, from my own personal experience: you're crazy. That never happened. You're tripping. What the fuck are you talking about? Shit like that, okay? TikTok is a really good place to find solidarity in others who have experienced different types of manipulation. Stonewalling is next. Delay or block a request, process, or person by refusing to answer questions or by giving evasive replies, especially in politics. Again, we're talking about interpersonal. So, did you text this person? Did you go here? And then, stonewalling and gaslighting are kind of similar. So, again, everything has a word. I'm just trying to help you recognize it when it happens. So, stonewalling again. Delay or block a request, process, or person by refusing to answer questions or by giving evasive replies. What does evasive mean? Avoiding commitment or self-revelation, especially by responding only indirectly. So straight up ignoring you, avoiding the question, dancing around it, asking you a question in response to your question. Guilt tripping is also... So these things exist, again, at a systemic level. We all experience this shit, especially within these times. And also, if you haven't experienced narcissism or abuse, physical or mental and emotional abuse, this is things to remember, okay? Breadcrumbing. I'm watching Princess Diaries. Okay, breadcrumbing. A manipulative dating behavior where someone gives intermittent attention and communication, keeping someone interested without committing to a serious relationship, essentially stringing them along. Which reminds me, oh, weird. Oh, my brain is like all backwards. Okay. All right. So if these are things that you are experiencing, you are being manipulated, okay? Or there's an attempt at manipulating you. Silent treatment. This is a big one my family did a lot. My husband as well. The silent treatment is a form of emotional abuse where someone deliberately refuses to communicate, often as a means of punishment, control, or manipulation, leaving the other person feeling ignored or unheard. Okay? Next, we're going to go through guilt tripping. A manipulative tactic where someone attempts to control or influence another person by making them feel guilty or responsible for something, often to get them to do what the guilt tripper wants. Breakdown of what this entails. It is a form of emotional manipulation. Examples: if you don't do this for me, I'll be upset. I'm always the one that has to do everything. You're so inconsiderate. Oh, I wish we would have done more examples for all of the other ones. Google is free. That's what I'm using. Okay? And love bombing. An attempt to influence another person with over-the-top displays of attention and affection. This kind of behavior is a form of emotional abuse, although it can be experienced during any stage of the relationship. It is often seen in the early stages of getting to know someone. There are 4 stages of love bombing: intense idealization, devaluation, and discard. So discard is a process when narcissists have sucked all the energy out of you and you have either emotionally detached or come to be aware of their behavior. You've called them out, whatnot. Where was I? Sorry, I've been through all of this. In various relationships. Discard, that's what we were talking about. So when there's a new energy supply, my husband, for instance, took about a month after we got married, we had an engagement party at our house, and he showed his true colors. Everything changed at that engagement party, and it was all his friends. I had one friend who came. It was my maybe 2 friends. But that night was an absolute terror for me. And like I said, this was a month after we got married. And I never got over the things that he did to me that night. There was blatant, in my face disrespect with other women, okay, at our honeymoon party. I was like, dude, are you serious? I never got true answers. I mean, I walked in on some shit that night, and I never, ever received clarification from anyone involved. Like I said, these were all his friends. I'm over that shit now. Obviously, that was like 9 years ago. But the thing about abusive relationships, specifically narcissists, is that once they've gotten their control over you, so like we got married, okay, and then everything was cool. We were in this honeymoon phase for a minute. We got married fast. I was naive, I'm not gonna lie. I was like 27. Always wanted love, and he showed me that attention. He saw that I was an easy target. Lying is also a tactic. I didn't go over that, but I think that's an important thing. Lying and gaslighting go hand in hand. The thing that scares me about this person I'm sharing about, my husband, my baby daddy, is that he believes his own lies. So that's like a pathological liar. Like that's scary to me. I'm a very honest person. I don't lie. Signs of pathological liars: claiming someone's story as their own, appearing indifferent when caught lying, embellishing or dramatizing stories, behaving against their own words, lying for no reason, appearing anxious when talking, and they're always the hero or victim. Yay. Oh, thank you. Boop. Is it time for a boop? Boop. Thank you. I love you. What makes someone a pathological liar? Lies compulsively and chronically, often for no apparent reason, and the lying becomes a persistent pattern that can impair social, occupational, or other areas of functioning. Compulsive. What's the difference between compulsive liar? Compulsive urge to lie about matters big and small. Okay, the thing about oh, you want to get in the bath? Thank you for bringing my shampoo to me. You want to take a bath right now? Yeah? Okay, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. Hey, Mommy, I gotta rinse off all this grime you're talking about. Family drama. Alright, I need to go swimming. I need to be naked. I need to be free. Take those off to get in bed. Bubbles. Alright. Go. Woohoo! Alright. There we go. So I think we're talking about this at an interpersonal level, but you can take any one of these tactics and turn it back onto society, any of the systems, the medical system, the obviously the dictatorship, politics in general. I think the scary thing about these things is that because we're in this system that has normalized like evil, right? I think commercialization, consumerism and commercialization is also a very large tactic. Financial abuse. Oh, whoops. I didn't go over that one. Financial abuse. That's something that I've experienced at all levels of my life as well. My family has always been reluctant to help me out in any sort, even though they stole everything that was for me, and they still haven't given that to me. I'm really looking forward to receiving my karmic justice. But financial abuse is, look up the definition. So these are all tactics that people use to control others, when in all reality, why don't you just like leave people alone? You can just like let people be, Financial infidelity. Financial abuse. Financial abuse in marriage. According to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, financial abuse is rooted in the desire of one partner to have power and control over the other. This was my mother. This is my relationship with my mother. Baby daddy too at this point, but whatever. A partner who chooses to abuse will control their partner's finances or their ability to provide for themselves through a job or public assistance they receive. The thing that triggered this conversation, I was thinking about it already, but then I just saw a video of a woman, an older woman, talking about the way it used to be back in the day when they were married. And the way that men had, it was before women could have bank accounts, and this was a black woman too, so she really didn't have rights over stuff. And so I was watching this and I was reading some of the comments on the video about, women sharing experiences and stuff. So I just wanted to put this here, in case you need it. I remember I was postpartum when I started looking at my Pinterest, and Niall was like sleeping on my chest. I was in my rocking chair and I was on Pinterest, and I remember blatantly, like, so I was sitting in this house with no electricity, which means we had no fridge, we had no lights, we had no TV, we had one little generator that his cousin across the street was charging for us, this man that I absolutely could not stand. I still can. I think he's a horrendous human. But he was there more than fucking baby daddy was. I think anyway, so I was sitting there on my phone, and I was on Pinterest, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, stuff started popping up on my Pinterest board about narcissism. And I was like, that was my aha moment. So at this point, I had been married to this man for 4 years, got pregnant, had a baby. I mean, I got pregnant several times, had miscarriages, had a baby. He locked me up, trafficked me through all of these mental health facilities. I mean, I was in Long Beach, Venice, I don't even know, somewhere up in like the valley. That was the one that he first took me to, like 2 hours away from LA. Like, this man just dropped me off in these mountains. That was the day I started smoking Marbreds again. Mm-hmm. When he was taking me. I had not smoked. I'd been off my medicine, my pharmaceuticals. I hadn't smoked a cigarette in, I don't know, a long fucking time. At least 8 years, probably. No, maybe not that long. Let's keep it real. Just a few years. But anyway, in that whole drive, I was begging him, like, don't take me here. So that's another form of abuse, is obviously physical trafficking as well. I mean, I was legit trafficked by my husband. And that was the thing. It was like, up until that day, I was like, you're supposed to protect me, Yeah. So anyway, these are some of the ways that people abuse us. And if you are experiencing any of these, you are probably experiencing more than one of them at the same time. What I would advise for you is to, like what these other women in this thread were saying, is try to save as much money. You can't get away without money. Try to figure out a plan. I mean, when I finally decided, so once I peeped that it was narcissism with him, it opened my eyes to all the other narcissists in my life, and I was like, holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. That's my family. Flying monkeys, let's go ahead and talk about those. Let me go turn this water off quick. Then we'll talk about flying monkeys. Not like the Wizard of Oz, but kind of. Holy shit. Wow, you got a little mini pool, huh? We didn't overflow, but we're close. No, it's fine. He's big enough to not. Flying monkeys. Let's get the actual def. Thanks for letting me trauma dump. Shit was rough. He's still trying to have control over me. Loser. I'm over it though at this point. I mean, I'm not totally liberated because I am still married to this person, but the distance helps a lot. Also, I reclaim my power with my birth, with Niall's birth, and so like motherhood has been the most liberating thing for me, like ever, which could seem ass backwards, but Niall gave me a reason to fight, Alright, people who are used by a narcissist to carry out their manipulative and abusive behaviors, often by spreading lies, gaslighting, and acting as a go-between. One of the big things that my experience with this guy was, so I met him as I was doing my research at his organization that he worked at, and for my master's degree. So I had already established relationships with, you know, his coworkers, the other art comrades, these other people who were in the organization. I had my own relationships with them as a student and as an intern before he and I were a thing. And then that he got everyone against me. Like I said, at the engagement party, it was all his friends. And I was, you know, like I said, I walked in on some shit and I was like, dude, what the fuck? You know, we were all drinking, but I'm not dumb. I'm a high functioning drunk. And from that point on, I realized I had no one in my corner, that they were all gonna be against me. I became the scapegoat in this group. And again, I stayed a long time because I loved him. Love yourself first. That's why I say that in every fucking reading. You gotta love yourself first. Don't love anyone over you, including your kids. Love yourself first. Take care of you first. Don't allow anyone to this is my doodle page. Don't allow anyone to carry any of these things out on you. And if you yourself have noticed that you are in patterns of doing these things, probably from learned behavior or coping response, because that's the thing, misery breeds more misery. So if you've been abused, it's what you know, but you don't have to keep doing that. And I think that's important. You're allowed to change. God, I was trafficked all over that goddamn city. Augustus Hawkins, the Martin Luther King's facility, they were like, that was a hard 6 months. Anyway, it was a long time ago. It was in 2017. So yeah, liberate yourself in physical distance. It helps a lot. Like I said, I have a really strong relationship to divine, as you can see, because I've been in so much darkness. I had nothing else many, many, many times because of the abuse I've endured in my life. At the hands of people I loved dearly and thought they loved me. I didn't know what love was until I became a mother. I think when I became a mother, I was like, oh, I've always had a mother's love, which is why I've always been not loved the way I want to be loved, because I love like a mother unconditionally, and no one has met me with that in my whole life, including me in these times. You know, I was still loving others ahead of me, and a lot of abuse victims do that. So whatever you need to take back your power. Like I said, mine was having a child. I would not recommend having a child with an abuser. If you can avoid that at all costs, I absolutely would. But I hope this helped. And I'm really sorry if this resonates, because I know that that means that you're experiencing. And also, I think that most of us are just really accustomed to these things because of society, because all of these exist within society. And we can break this down now that I have it written down. We can do this as a dismantling, where we look more into systems and identify what these look like within systems. But I really wanted to put this here as an interpersonal conversation. I've been sitting with this for a while. And it feels good to kind of unload a little bit and share why I have this wisdom. Good luck. If you need anything, my email is open. It's ascendingwithashley@gmail.com. Have a good one.